I wanted to pop in and talk about team performance and, why you might be experiencing some lag in your team performance and share with you some strategies or some action steps, some things that you can do in order to fix it, right? So if you have ever been in a place where you're leading a team and you know that the team is capable of so much more than what they're actually doing. However, you sense that there's something holding them back. If you've ever been there, then this is for you, right? You can, maybe you feel the tension, maybe you feel the frustration, maybe you feel that something is just off, right? And when you're in that place, listen, leadership can be very isolating. And when you're in that place, it can be very challenging because maybe you don't feel comfortable talking to someone else about the challenges that you're experiencing with your team, because you don't want to be perceived as not knowing what you're doing or not being a good leader. And so, what do you end up doing? Most of the time, you just end up ignoring it. You just keep going as business as usual. And so, what ends up happening is you don't address the issues that are going on. And that ends up impacting your overall team dynamics, right? And so, I'm going to share with you 3 specific strategies or tips, things that you can do to help you to address these team dynamics and turn things around. So, the first one is to conduct regular one-on-one meetings, right? You can use these check-ins to really help you to understand the individual team members that you have, what their concerns are. And then that can provide you, or you can utilize that as an opportunity to provide them with feedback on what your expectations are. You can use that as a way to foster trust, not only you and them, but them and you as well, right? Because you are getting to know them as an individual by having these one-on-one meetings, right? This is going to allow for you to have a space for open and honest communication. And that, of course, is going to help to build that alignment that you really want to see in your team. And it's going to prevent those small issues that pop up from becoming major roadblocks along the way, right? So here's how you do that. First, you want to set up a regular weekly or bi-weekly, depending upon the number of people you have on your team. You want to set up those regular recurring meetings, right? These are one-on-one meetings that you have with each member of your team. Now, if you have an extremely large team, then I would focus on those. Typically, you have team leaders, right? You have leaders within those larger teams. So I would focus on meeting with those members and encourage them to have one-on-one meetings with those that are downline from them, right? So first, you want to set up that regular one-on-one meeting on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, and then use those check-ins as times to ask those open-ended questions. Ask them about the challenges that they're facing. Ask them about their perception of the overall dynamics of the team. Ask them about their professional and personal development goals, right? Because in order for you to really lead people into their highest performing self, you've got to know what their individual goals are. And by knowing what their professional goals are, you can really play to those strengths and really help to develop them into future leaders, right? You can give them more responsibility. That's going to help you to figure out where you can delegate things, because you know what the professional goals are of those members of your team, or what the professional goals are for the members of your team, right? And this can the impact that this has on team dynamics is it's going to allow this place for morale to be boosted within the team. It's going to help to improve overall communication, and it's going to help you to catch those issues. Like I was saying earlier, it's going to allow you to catch those issues early on before they have a major impact on the team as a whole, right? So tip number one is to conduct those regular one-on-one meetings. The second tip or action step that I would say to do is to clarify roles and expectations. You want to take time to do that so that everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing, what the expectations are. Because listen, if you don't have that role clarification, if you don't have that clarification of what expectations are, that is where misunderstandings come in. That's where a lack of clarity comes in. And that's just going to lead to confusion. It's going to lead to missing deadlines. It's going to lead to like this lack of direction, right? People aren't going to know what they're supposed to be doing or where, and people can end up working on the same things because they're not really clear on who's supposed to do what. And you end up with double work, or you end up with things falling through the cracks, right? And so taking the time to clarify roles and expectations can really help to clear some of these things up and allow you to increase your team performance, right? So this is what you want to do. You want to schedule a team alignment meeting, right? Schedule a team alignment meeting. And during this meeting, what you're going to do is clarify all the roles of the members of your team. You're going to clarify what the responsibilities are. You're going to clarify what the expectations are, right? So all three of these, you're going to clarify roles, responsibilities, and expectations in this team alignment meeting. And then follow that meeting up with a written summary of the things that you talked about or you discussed in that meeting. This is going to ensure that everyone is clear on what they're supposed to be doing, like what their lane is, if you will, and they're going to be able to stay in the lane, and they're going to know what is expected of them within that particular role that they have. This is going to help to reduce confusion. It's going to help avoid miscommunication, and it's going to provide a really clear path forward for all the members of your team. And that's just going to help you as a leader. And then thirdly, the last tip that I'll share with you is to foster a culture of accountability. Now, what do I mean by that? Like, what does that look like? This is going to help drive ownership, right? You want to create this culture where people can take ownership over the work that they're supposed to do, over their role, over their responsibility, over their tasks, right? Accountability just really is going to encourage that, and it's going to drive each of the members of your team to take responsibility for their task and their actions. And this is going to lead to increased performance, right? It's going to prevent that frustration. It's going to prevent resentment from building up, because everyone is able to equally carry out their tasks. Everyone is going to be equally accountable for their specific role within the team, right? So how do you do that? One, you want to create a very clear system of accountability. This is going to have very defined metrics and deadlines, right? You want to regularly check in on the progress of the goals within your team meetings, and then make adjustments if necessary, right? So you should, if you're not having team meetings, you definitely need to be having team meetings. And during those team meetings, this is the time where you're going to have those team check-ins to ensure that everyone is on target for whatever those KPIs are, whatever those metrics are that you decided. And everyone can report on where they are. And when you're doing that, when you're going through that process, I want to encourage you to give praise to any team members who are meeting their deadlines, who are meeting their KPIs, who are meeting those metrics that you predefined, because this is going to help encourage them to keep going forward, right? Everyone wants to feel appreciated for the work that they do, even if, yeah, we know that that's their job, right? And that's what they're getting paid to do, but everyone wants to feel appreciated. No one wants to feel like they're overlooked, right? So giving that praise is going to be helpful. You also want to provide constructive feedback if they're not hitting those metrics, if they're missing deadlines. Encourage them to take a look at the process, like what didn't go right in this situation, and what could you do differently next time to ensure that you actually meet your goals, to that you hit those deadlines, and put those processes into place, right? This is going to help to encourage a higher level of productivity from all the members of your team. It's going to also help to reduce that procrastination that can creep in. And it's going to improve team morale, because everyone knows what's expected of them. They know that they're going to be held accountable to getting the things done that they are supposed to be getting done. And it's going to provide them that consistent follow through, right? And just bonus tip for you. This actually is a game changer. If you don't already have this within your team, foster an environment within your team where feedback is welcomed, right? Give them space to be able to provide you with feedback about what is going on. This is going to help to foster or cultivate a culture of continuous improvement, right? Even you as a leader don't know it all. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? You don't know it all. They're the ones that are on the front line doing all the work. And so allow that space for them to provide you with feedback so that you can continually be improving the way work is done, so that you can increase productivity, so you can increase the impact to those that you serve through whether it is within your organization or it's clients and customers of your organization and company, right? And this is also going to help to strengthen team collaboration. So, like I said, bonus tip, it's game changer. Create that environment, cultivate an environment that fosters that continuous improvement, right? And these strategies that I shared, they're just a small piece of the puzzle, right? But there's so much more that we can uncover, and go deeper into when it comes to understanding what is holding your team back and how you can fix it. And if you're struggling with communication breakdowns, if you're struggling with unclear expectations, or even a lack of accountability, I want to encourage you to go deeper with me. On this Thursday, I'm hosting a 90-minute webinar called The 3 Costly Leadership Mistakes That Could Be Sabotaging Your Team's Performance. And in this webinar, I'm going to be going so much deeper into the challenges that you face as a leader that impact your ability to lead a high performance team, and overcome those things that could be sabotaging the success of you as a leader and your team's performance. And most importantly, how are you going to overcome them, right? So we're going to go much deeper into how to conduct these meaningful one-on-one check-ins. We're going to go deeper into how you can clarify roles and expectations to remove that confusion, so that you can create that culture of accountability that's going to drive results, right? So if you want to join me, I want to invite you. Matter of fact, I will extend an invitation for you to join me. The webinar is free, right? So it's no cost to you. Let me drop the link to register in the comments. All right, so that should be popping up in just a moment. So you can click the link in the comments to register. Again, it's free. Space is limited, so make sure that you grab your spot today. And hopefully I'll see you in the Zoom room on Thursday. That's all I have for you today. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you on Thursday.